Hi everyone, I'm John and this is the winners announcement for the UI Design Challenge 2021. Thanks for joining us. This broadcast will announce the top 3 winners of the competition. Just to recap, we were looking for the home screen of a CyberSoc events app where users could easily book events and express interest in the events. The judging process was difficult due to the sheer amount of creativity and originality in your designs, so a big well done to everyone who took part. We're giving away over £200 in Amazon vouchers to our top 3 winners. First place will get £100, second place will get £75 and third place £50. If you win, you'll shortly receive an email with your Amazon vouchers and a certificate that you can share on LinkedIn. For team submissions, the prize will be split equally between all members. Jack and I met with our judges on Wednesday evening just after the deadline to decide on our winning designs. It was a tough decision to make. We spent almost an hour looking through all the designs and choosing which ones should win. Every design had its merits, and so it was quite difficult to narrow down to only the top 3 designs. We managed to shortlist 8 designs in total. From those 8 designs, we then picked our top 3 winners. Originally, I was only planning on mentioning those top 3, but because all the designs in our shortlist were so good, we couldn't not mention them. Our judges left detailed feedback for all 8 designs, and if you're one of those 8 designers, they're more than happy to chat with you on LinkedIn if you want some additional feedback. The links to their LinkedIn profiles can be found in the description. So I'll first go through the 5 designs which were shortlisted but unfortunately didn't qualify for the top 3, in no particular order. This design is by Mohammed, and although it's a great design, the aesthetics are good, it unfortunately didn't qualify for our top 3. What I like about this design is that the call to action really stands out: get tickets. I also like the small banners on the corners that say free. I think that's a nice touch. But the fact that the text is quite small in some places, especially on these tags or labels underneath the event headings, makes it quite hard to read. Some of the important elements, like the date, should stand out reasonably well. Our judges left some comments on this design. Really good use of call to action and clean design. I understand the objective clearly. Great use of icons and favoriting, but hard to read certain important features. So I think overall great aesthetics, but it was let down by some of those usability issues. But in any case, well done for getting shortlisted. Next on our shortlist is this design by Sefu. Some great ideas went into this design, but I think more time could have been spent on aesthetics. You're using a couple of different fonts here. Personally, I would try to avoid fonts like Arial. I'd say they're overused, and I would try to opt for a more original or modern font. The design could have been refined a bit more, as there's quite a lot of things here. It's difficult if you have all these ideas that you can't fit on one screen, so you would need to make some decisions as to which ones to include and which ones to either remove or hide in some way, so it's not overwhelming for the user. But aside from that, I like the calendar tabs at the top, as well as the filters, and I say the profile pictures you've added, friends who are going, is a nice touch. Here's what our judges said. Clearly defined areas, for example profile at the top, calendar in the middle and events below. Nice use of social proofing by including views today and friends joining the event. The events section needs to be refined. Consider the layout and relationship between the information. If a second event was displayed on the screen, it could start to overwhelm the user with information. Consider scaling it back slightly. Okay, so a few areas of improvement there from our judges, but overall a good design, so well done for getting shortlisted. The third design to be shortlisted was this one by Deepti. I like the tabs at the top and the social media icons on the bottom. The layout could be refined a bit to ensure there's consistency. I think you may have forgotten to include the UI Design Challenge, which was one of the requirements in the scenario. I see you put a white background behind the CyberSoc logo, which is good because if it was against that green background, you might not be able to read the CyberSoc text very well. Something else you could have done, it might not work in this case, but generally speaking, is to add a shadow behind the logo, which can make it stand out a bit more. The same would apply to any text you might have over a background image. But now let's look at the comments from our judges. Use of social media icons was smart and answered the objective of gaining more sales through social proofing. Good use of imagery to create intrigue and grab attention. Use of ignore was very smart to declutter events. I think that particular feature stood out in this design. On the one hand, event organisers wouldn't want you to ignore their event, but for the user it can be beneficial as it declutters the screen. So good job on getting into our shortlist. The next design is by Morgan, who happens to be the winner of our prize draw in our launch event last week. This is a good design as it clearly matches the CyberSoc brand. I see you've taken some ideas from the example design I made and incorporated these into your design. I say the calendar is a nice touch, and potentially when the user scrolls down, the events section could overlap it, which would make for a good interaction there. On the other hand, I'd say that the date for each of the events is quite small. As I said before, the date and time are quite important, so they should stand out reasonably well. Here are the comments from our judges. Different navigation style to the other designs, while still clear how to use the application. Consider using imagery to make the events stand out. For example, a pub quiz could be illustrated easily with images rather than the subheading included. So one area of improvement there, but overall a good effort, so well done to you for getting shortlisted. And our last design in our shortlist, which unfortunately didn't qualify for the top 3, is this design by Alice. This one came with annotations, but I've just cropped those off so it fits on the screen. Personally, I like the dates on the left hand side, and instead of repeating the same date twice, you've added a line to indicate those 2 events are happening on the same day. I'd say the layout is very good, it's clear and consistent. I also like the icons on the right hand side to indicate paid for events, virtual events, etc. But let's look at some of the comments from our judges then. Lots of very smart, unique ideas and great use of space for additional features. Some of the ideas could be cut back to focus on what was important. Some of the icons could have been placed on the next page for more information. If we didn't have the annotation on each icon, would we know what each icon means? So this design, as I said, came with annotations, but if this was a real app, there wouldn't be annotations, so the design would need to speak for itself. So I'd make sure that the icons are meaningful by supplementing the icon with a bit of text perhaps. But overall, great effort and well done to Alice and all our other shortlisted designs. Now I'm sure you're all eagerly waiting to hear who our top 3 winners are, so I'll get straight to it. In 3rd place is Maria's design. What I like about this design is that it's minimalistic, so users can focus on one event at a time. I'd be careful with the contrast of the text against the image background. For instance, the smaller white text, such as the date, might be hard to read for some users. I also like the social media icons you've added, which is a nice touch. Our judges made loads of comments on this design, so let's take a look. Nice simple layout which focuses the user on an individual event, therefore ensuring they read about the event in detail before swiping on to the next. I really like the call to action book your ticket button, which I assume stays in the same place while you're swiping through events. This helps the user press the button without needing to search for the button if it moves while the user scrolls. Consider making the logo smaller or removing it completely. The user would have downloaded the app and therefore brand recognition wouldn't be required here. It takes up 10% of the screen, which is too much for mobile. You have used arrows to signal the swipe left or right action. This may not be required. You could have used a second tile to the left or right, slightly in view to tell the user another event is present. So a few tips from our judges there, but a great minimalistic design overall, so good job for achieving 3rd place. Our 2nd place design is by Ryan. As soon as I saw this design, I instantly knew it would make the top 3. There's not a single element out of place, so clearly a lot of precision and attention to detail has gone into this design. It's clear to see you've got a good eye for design, and you've got the space in between the elements just right. This is also our 1st design that doesn't include the CyberSoc logo. As our judges mentioned in a previous comment, you might not need to add the logo to your app, as the user would already know it's a CyberSoc app. But here are the comments from our judges. Great use of imagery behind the content. Watch out for accessibility. Some of the images might make it hard to read the event text. Fantastic use of spacing to guide the eye to what's important. Very clear icon use. I understand what each icon's purpose was for. So very well done on achieving 2nd place. Some great design skills here. And a big congratulations to our 1st place winner, Ellie. It was a tough decision to choose the ordering of the top 3 winners, but it's clear in this design a combination of good ideas, good design and good layout went in. This is a 2nd design that doesn't include the CyberSoc logo as part of the app, but it does feature it in the UI Design Challenge event. This design also came with annotations, but I've just cropped it out so it can all fit onto one screen. I also like the simplistic layout you use at the bottom. It's concise and only includes the important information such as the title, date and location. Not sure if CyberSoc will be hosting a winter sports event anytime soon, but I did say you can make up any events, so that's absolutely fine. Here's the final set of comments from our judges. Filtering was really great here. You empowered the user to filter to their needs. Nice use of popular events carousel to promote playfulness, and scrolling behaviour to find new events users might not have considered. The search field was a good idea. I would assume this would be intelligent and could help a user who wants to find specific events or wants to explore category events based on keywords. Adding a share icon is a great way to spread the event to others and grow the user base. So all positive comments here from our judges, and again congratulations to Ellie for achieving 1st place. So that's it, the end of the UI Design Challenge 2021. We very much hope you enjoyed taking part and had fun creating your design, either individually or in your team. As I said earlier, if you won, you will shortly receive an email with your Amazon vouchers and a certificate. And we encourage you to share that certificate on LinkedIn so that potential employers can see how well you did. If your design featured in this announcement and you'd like some additional feedback, feel free to send a quick message to our judges via LinkedIn. It's a great networking opportunity for you. If this event made you think about a career in UI UX design, be sure to make use of the wide range of free resources online, practice designing apps like this one, and ask others for their thoughts. All that's left to say is a big thanks to everyone for attending our launch event last week, to our industry experts who gave their helpful advice and judged your designs, and again, well done if you took part. Even if you didn't win anything, it's a great experience for your CV to show that you have an interest in app design. So that's the end of this broadcast. CyberSoc will be back with our Spotlight event next week, and we've got something big planned after Easter. Be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss out on any updates. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at our next CyberSoc event.